You might have felt you were operating in a different way than others, and you were trying, as it was taught to you, to do it the way it was taught, whether it's at school, whether it's how you create your business, whether it's creating your career. Like, you can take any topic, and you would sense that either you do it differently or you over adapt and forget about how you would have done it. Welcome to the inner space. This is for you if you need encouragement to be more yourself and explore your own path. Maybe because you feel different, too sensitive, or just not able to do things as everyone else seems to. There is a way, and it's your unique way. I'm Gloria Jensen. I am a coach, a healing artist, and a surfer. I am here to help you ride the waves of life, work, and business to find that deeper alignment with your creative and sensitive soul. If this feels like you, I invite you to know yourself better, feel all the emotions, and trust yourself, so you experience the freedom and fulfillment of being and doing you. Subscribe now to catch the next wave to the inner space, where authenticity sets you free. This episode is for you if you already know that everything is inside of you and you need encouragement on that path to go with what you sense is right. So, to give you a bit of context, then I'm going to share you a sample of my story. I've discovered more than 2 years ago now, it's going to be soon 3 years, human design, and at the same time gene keys. If you want to check online, you can easily create your human design chart. You just need your date of birth and hour of birth and location. It's based on astrology and much more. I let you dig deeper because that you can find just by a Google research. And gene keys, so it's gene, like the jeans, not the one you wear, the one in your DNA. And keys like the car keys, home keys. These two systems are very complementary. Human design was created first, channeled, and then the gene keys. Human design is more masculine approach, and the gene keys more feminine approach. What do I mean by that? The feminine approach, maybe the masculine is familiar, I guess, for most of us, because as a society, whether we are women or men, we are very much encouraged to be in our masculine way. The feminine way means it's a bit more a contemplative way to access the wisdom. It's not the active research, understanding. It's more soaking in the wisdom, sensing how it feels in the body, and absorbing what is shared, not just the words, but also the frequency and how it feels in the body. So if you want to dig deeper, I highly encourage you. For me, these tools have been very helpful to understand how I operate. I started the journey on really knowing myself through giftedness and high sensitivity. Many people come to me because of that. So what it means to be gifted, what it means to be highly sensitive, when I discovered these topics already, I was like, oh my God, now I understand so much more of what's happening inside of me, outside of me, in contact with the outer world. And it helped me a lot to legitimate how I operate, whether it's on the emotional side, having deep feelings, intense feelings, and whether it's on the mental side, like having a complexity in how I approach the things, and needing also that complexity in terms of challenges. So that was the beginning of the journey for me. When I heard about it, dig deeper, understood how myself it's expressed for me, because every gifted individual, every highly sensitive person is different. It's expressed differently. You still have your story, your education, just your path, your life. Like, nothing is predetermined by how you operate. And it's the same for human and design and gene keys. So for me, that was the first step in validating myself, really in how I sensed I needed things to be. And that might resonate with people who know about these topics. You might have felt you were operating in a different way than others, and you were trying, as it was taught to you, to do it the way it was taught, whether it's at school, whether it's how you create your business, whether it's creating your career. Like, you can take any topic, and you would sense that either you do it differently or you over adapt and forget about how you would have done it. So for me, the discovering that enabled me to allow myself to be more myself, and also to do more my way. And that's really the core of the message I share, and how I support people, like, be yourself and do yourself. We need really that unique way of being and doing. Otherwise, we would have a duplicate of ourselves, and there is only one you. So that was, I would say, a significant step on my journey. And if you are quite new to these topics or want to know more, my website has so many free resources. I have especially my blog, where you can find more than 60 gifted adult interviews, where you will have echoes, how people phrase, like, either the challenges or the joys they have, so that it can help you on that journey of validating yourself. That's why I created it. And then I encountered human design and gene keys, and that's what I also want to talk about today. So if you're skeptical, like, it's based on your date of birth. I'm the kind of mind who is always open to any approach. I keep my critical sense and just my inner sense of, is that right for me? Because something might be right for someone and not for another person. We are all different. But I'm always open, and I guess also for you to be listening to that podcast, whether just listening or maybe working with me, you need that open-mindedness. It will be much better to benefit from what I share. And I was like, okay, what's this thing? And I got my chart. You can create yours online easily. Create free charts, free human design chart, free gene keys chart. But warning, you might not understand it. That's normal. You can dig deeper searching for other information. I highly recommend you. It makes a huge difference having a session with someone who is trained. I am. So if you feel called to dig deeper, it's the human design part is really giving you your user's manual. How do you best move in life to experience less resistance, more flow? How do you take decisions? What are your strengths? What are areas where you might be more attentive to conditioning? It's the quickest path to find alignment for me. I've used it a lot in my business, and same for gene keys, even though it's a very different approach. Gene keys, it might take more time, at least for me. It was very like, oh, I don't understand this, because it's such a different way to do self-actualization work, self-development work. It's not the classical, here is an exercise, like, you learn about it, you understand it, you do it, and then if it's right for you, you get the results. Gene Keys is really contemplating the wisdom. How does it work? Like, it creates also based on your date of birth, like a chart, and for each sphere you have a shadow, gift, and acidic frequency. What does it mean? It's the shadow is how you might experience the lower frequency, and then the gift is you start to be in, you hear it's the gift, so it's already in the higher frequency. And then the acidic level is, it's not something we experience on a daily basis. It really means we are in our journey, or we might experience some parts in that journey, like bubbles of consciousness. And I share that with you because I'll give you a practical and simple example for me, without diving into I was going to say the complexity of the system, of course. I know who I am talking to. If you like complex systems, even though it's really not complicated, it's different, that can stimulate your brain and also your body, because my work is a lot about embodiment. You might be interested. So I've received my map, I've worked through it, And also it gives me indication for my business, because for me it's super important to create a business that is me and not just applying strategies that are supposed to work because they were sold as the way to get to that level. And in my own business journey, what I sense, and that was my experience, is I've not trusted myself enough. And especially because I started my business journey having no experience, no training, nothing in business. Like, it was not my area of expertise, whether it's marketing, accounting, selling, whatever, name it. I didn't have it. So I was very open to other people's suggestion to make it work and to understand, how do I sell myself, how do I find clients. And it's good because it's great to have an openness, but at the same time, I didn't trust myself enough. We go back on the topic that you can find in giftedness, that you can also find when you dig deeper into human design and gene keys, is applying a rule or an advice, something that had been said to a current situation you have, whether it's a problem or not, but it's actually so not aligned with who you are and how you operate that you harm yourself, or it creates friction. To give you a very concrete example, when I uncovered my gene keys, and especially like how I am contributing to the world and how I operate best, that's why also I like these tools, because they are not telling me something I didn't know. They're not creating a new reality. They're just confirming what I sensed in my body was right. So if you want to do the shortcut without all the tools I'm sharing, it's, can you trust what you feel is right? Even though either people tell you it's not the way, or are against what you say, would do it differently. Can you trust what you sense is right? It takes a huge leap of self-trust, and especially because I think most of us, through our education, we learn to not be ourselves. We learn to take on approaches that are supposed to be the right ones, especially at school, how we are educated. So for me, when I started my business journey, I was keen to learn many new different things. I was curious, and I had to do also that work of meeting my beliefs, changing my mindset around selling, and all the things. I really needed to do that work, and that was fantastic. And I still need to do it every time I do another step in my business. But I've emphasized too much focusing on what was told to me, even though I know every action I've put in place in my business was coming from a place of alignment. There are many things where I think I've delayed, like put the brake on in my own car, because I didn't look enough inside. I'm sharing my journey with business, but I know maybe for you, you have a business and it resonates. Maybe it's in your relationships, maybe it's at work. Like, where do you rely more on others' perspectives, approaches, advices, than on what you sense is right? And that can be also in daily life. It's very subtle sometimes. And now I've said it 3 times, it's coming now. The very concrete example is, I'm at the stage in my business where I'm like, I don't want to do anything anymore than creating. Like, I love creating. Whether it's, I can create the content, I can create this recording like this podcast, I can create a video, I can create a program, I can create a healing artwork. Of course, we are co-creating in a coaching session. That 100%. But all that is around, I don't have the energy for it. Of course, I can do it. Like, I will find the energy, and sometimes you have to do that. But if I'm very honest with myself, I really just want to do that creation or co-creation with my clients and with you who is listening. That's where I want to spend my time and my energy. That's really the essence. And I would have said that And I was saying it also before going into my gene keys. And then as I was reading about, it's called the vocation, and there is a specific line associated to it. I know it sounds very like when you don't know about the gene keys, it's a vocabulary that sounds very unfamiliar, and that's fine. You don't need to understand that. But it really was about the fact that I am a creator and that I need only to focus on my creation and creating from my genius. And then I need other people to do the rest. I'm just creating. And as I read about that, I was like, oh my God, it's putting in words exactly what I want, who I am. And it's interesting because I already sensed it, knew it, even expressed it. But then, and that's why these tools are beautiful, when then I was reading about that, it helped me to make it even more precise what I felt, what I wanted. It's the same also with being highly sensitive or gifted. It's giving you a validation of, I was sensing something, and yes, it was right. So if you are interested in digging deeper into your own map, whether it's for your career, like your professional path, your relationships, there is so much also about that in these tools. Like it's infinite what you can do that. It's a huge place to get information, understanding for yourself, and guidance. Okay. I highly encourage you to dig deeper. If you want to do a session with me, I would be super happy. Whether like I do specific sessions, you can decide what's the topic for you. I have many people who come also to me for their business, because most of what I see in business is a bit what I've described and then what I've experienced. Oh, you work with someone who tells you, okay, that's how you need to sell to have success. That's how you need to create offers. But if it's not aligned with how you are designed, whoa, that's going to be hard. That's going to feel very painful, maybe exhausting, out of your integrity. And I can assure you that by working with these tools and what I propose you, you are going to be more connected to your natural way. And that's actually what many people tell me after the session. They're like, oh, I didn't learn many new things. I just had a confirmation about things either I knew unconsciously, which sounds a bit weird, phrase like this, or I sensed, or I just knew consciously. And now I'm like, now I will go 100% behind it. To give a concrete example for one of my clients, it was like, okay, I need to be on social media, reach out to many people I don't know, do all the things. And then in the end, after working with her design, we found out, well, she just needs to focus on her network. And that's going to be the way business is going to come to her. And that's just a very specific detail from that session. But for that person, it felt, oh, and many other things, like the person could look at the to-do list, leave by side many things that you might be supposed to do from a business advice perspective and go just to what was actually right for her. So more energy, more success, more happiness, and delight into this business journey. I'm very curious, what is your experience with your business? Have you ever heard about human design and gene keys? Are you curious to do a session for yourself? Let me know. Wishing you all the best in your journey. Thank you for joining the Inner Space. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, or share it with someone who might need exactly this encouragement. And until next time, keep exploring your inner space, where authenticity sets you free.